Welcome back to K Entertainment. We are now halfway through breaking down India's squad ahead of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. In part 1, we went through the top order. In part 2, we went through the middle order. And now in part 3, we're getting into the spin compartment. However, given the all-round natures of our spinners, this is also more like an extension of the middle order. Now, as any Indian team, we have an amazing abundance of spinners. It's always been a struggle to see which spinners we have that will actually make the 11. Particularly when we're making these tours and teams traditionally don't use a lot of spinners. Nowadays, Ravindra Jadeja has been our go-to guy, our first choice all-rounder in the team sheet. His test career is so impressive that it wouldn't even be an outrageous comment to say that he's one of the top 5 test all-rounders of all time. Averaging 35.72 with the bat alongside 21 50s, that's almost 1 every 5 innings. And on the other hand, averaging something like 24 with the ball, which is just stupendous. With so many 5-wicket hauls, 2 more than last match, which are not even updated, is crazy. In Australia, his stats go even crazier, and this is why I think he'll be the first name on the team sheet. He's averaged 43.75 with the bat and 21.78 with the ball in conditions that don't really traditionally support spin. That's very good given the fact that usually spinners are just there to support the pacers. So far this year, his batting hasn't been quite up to those amazing standards, but his bowling has been around that mark still. And if you're looking at the last few years of his form, ever since the WTC era affected the test circuit, his batting has been on another planet where he's averaging 40 in an era where batsmen aren't really averaging a lot. For context, this means he has been our third best batsman behind Rohit and Pant in these recent times. Now he is great, but we have another great. Ravichandran Ashwin must be the most unlucky player in history, because even though he is one of the best spinners of all time, and one of the best test cricketers of all time full stop, he's still somehow not a guarantee for this Indian team. And that's crazy. Even though he just had a bad tour of New Zealand, he has pulled his weight for India time and time again. And last Border Gavaskar, where he put his body on the line in Sydney, people won't forget that anytime soon. Looking at his career across over 100 matches, he's averaged 26 with the bat, which is respectable. What's more respectable is his 6 centuries. He also has a crazy 530 plus wickets and an outstanding average below 24. 37 5-wicket hauls. That is second only to Muralidharan. When you think about it, it's so insane that we have 2 players of this quality right up there. Obviously, both aren't quite as young as they used to be, but performances are still up there, and Ashwin at 38 will look to extend his career as much as he can. However, in Australia, his stats have not been that great. In 10 matches, he just has not found as much success with the bat. 250s for sure, but averaging only 24. And it's more the ball where I'm concerned. He's averaging in excess of 40, which for a bowler of his standard is not quite it. Looking at this year, his stats are again kind of disappointing. He's averaged 20.53 with the bat, which is nothing spectacular, although he did have an amazing century against Bangladesh, which saved the match for us basically. And then he also was a player of series against Bangladesh. Obviously New Zealand was one bad series, but that just happens once in a while. World Test Championship era, however, he has been amazing, especially with the ball, averaging almost 21. That's crazy. Yet somehow, considering recent form, he finds competition somewhere completely unexpected. And that is with the youngster Washington Sundar. Now, Washington Sundar I personally liked ever since he's arrived on the scene, but unfortunately fitness has hit the brakes on his career, and I think he could genuinely make a case as a solid top-order batsman, especially when you consider his technique and ability to perform under pressure. But you look at the matches he's played for India, and all these matches have been big games, no easy games at all. And in Gaba, he came in under pressure and with the ball even got the likes of Smith out. Against England, he wasn't great with the ball, but he had 2 games where he deserved centuries if not stranded by the tail. In a surprise comeback 3 years later when he played New Zealand in Pune, he had an unbelievable performance with the ball this time around, showing his ability as a spinner. A bowling performance with extreme consistency, turn and constant threat, which truly felt like a coming of age match. That one performance immediately propelled him high up, and against a team with left-handers like Ashwin, he will be effective. And across the New Zealand series, he's been one of the very few batsmen that's looked genuinely comfortable. So it's amazing what he's done already against tough oppositions under high pressure. So how do you balance this? Obviously with the quality, we already have 2 casualties. Akshar Patel missed out because his profile is similar to Jadeja's. They overlap in ability, so it's kind of unfortunate for him. And then there's Kuldeep Yadav, who is injured, but last time around we saw even though he was in the squad, he didn't get to play, and eventually the net bowlers had made it ahead of him, so I don't think India is considering a genuine frontline spinner. but nevertheless he has been very impressive and is worth a shout. Now you come to the big debate, Jadeja versus Ashwin versus Sundar. All of them have even contributed in the last Border Gap score, so that brings in another pickle with their experience. There are a few loopholes around the problem though, and here's what I figured. Jadeja averages 50 at number 6 across 15 matches where he played 17 innings. That is not a small sample size, and that's worth a genuine shout, especially when you consider the fact that K. Rahul in Australia nor Surface Khan in the latest series have been convincing. And even someone like Washington Sundar, across this series at least, has looked like he should be promoted to number 6 at the very least. So when you play one of them at 6, you can play the other 7, and I think Jadeja makes it anyways. So you could play Sundar 6, Jadeja 7, or the other way around. Now this is going to be a spoiler alert for part 4, but given our pace bowling reserves and the inexperience amongst them, there is also another opportunity where you play all 3 at 6, 7, 8. In this case, Sundar would obviously be playing as more of a batter, which I think is something he deserves given his performances. And then you have Jadeja and Ashwin playing with their experience guiding India in a series where they have to win and cannot afford to lose any match, can't even afford to draw more than one. It's crazy. So anyways, that's a big pickle. Something for Gambhir to figure out. I honestly think playing 2 or even 3 of them is a genuine solution. But there's so many options, so much talent in this squad, and there always will be. Hopefully you liked this video. Check out parts 1 and 2. Part 4 will be coming up soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and give us your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.